Yeah, we're going.
So I've just spoken about sustainable packaging and whether or not it's achievable. And packaging is often misunderstood. People don't like it. They think there's too much packaging on their products. But they forget that without the packaging, the product goes off. And the biggest environmental impact is in the product. So if we lose our steak or our can of beans, if we lose the contents, then actually we've lost much, much more than the extra packaging we've put on to protect it. So I talked about some of the trends in packaging that we see. And not just the material trends, they're quite important, but also looking at augmented reality and how you can change the way you shop, how your packaging can do much, much more with technology. And there's some other stuff that's going on that's also really, really interesting. So we can lightweight our packaging, we can change to low carbon materials, we can begin to look at recyclability, recycled materials. All of these things are already beginning to take some impact. One of the things that I struggle with is degradable packaging, because it isn't circular. When we say circular, we mean we can't get the value back out and reprocess it to use again, because degradable packaging degrades, it disappears, it goes into methane, into its constituent elements. And therefore, I don't think that in a world where we need a circular economy, degradable packaging gives any answers at all. So at the moment, we need to put that on hold, and we need to focus on more traditional materials. And here I'm going to stand up a little bit for plastic, because plastic often gets quite a lot of bad press. And it gets that bad press because it ends up in the wrong place. Plastic in the oceans is a travesty, and it damages wildlife and causes all kinds of problems. That isn't plastic's fault. That's the way that we use it and the way that we dispose it. Actually, it's a really, really good medium if used responsibly. So I talked about those issues, and I talked about the need to have a circular economy, because if we want to manufacture stuff in the future, if we want a Europe that can make things, we need raw materials. And with China's growth being so rapid, and with the 2 billion people that are going to shift into the middle classes in the developing nations over the next 20 years, we're a tiny market. Their market will feed themselves. So we're not needed. So the resources that we currently buy will be bought to be used in other parts of the world. So consequently, we need to close the loop. We need to get the value out, and we need to start manufacturing in Europe again, or increase our manufacturing in Europe. So that's what the presentation was all about. I tried to do it with a bit of humor. I showed at least 2 photographs of my grandmother, and we'd got some brilliant questions and some answers afterwards. It was a good level of debate amongst the delegates. And I have to say that this event, it's so well organized, and I have 4 or 5 responses after the presentation that I know will lead to work and will lead to great things. That's quite rare. So the caliber, the quality of the attendees here is astonishing. And I do this all over the world, and this is my favorite place to do it.